right, so the question here really is, man, when you catch a dude cheating and you're going out with this guy you think's great, right? Then you find out and you're shocked that he's got a wife. Do you keep that to yourself, or do you have a responsibility to go, hey, wifey, just want you to know what's up? Here is Stephanie. Good morning.
Hi, good morning.
How are you today?
Oh, been better.
I bet. Yes. All right, so why don't you tell the story? How long you were going out with this guy, how you met him, how you found out?
So, I have been single almost 3 years, and about a year or so ago, I actually heard about Bumble from one of your listeners, and I was like, oh, that must be better than Tinder. So I jumped on and met this guy, and we matched, and we talked back and forth, but we never met. And I would go back and forth from deleting my Bumble account to bringing it back, and then finally here this July, we finally matched again, and he was like, let's just finally meet up. So I said, awesome. I actually have Braves game tickets tonight. Why don't you meet me there? And we did. We had a first date, and it was awesome. It was great. There was a huge connection. We were very physical in public. Didn't think anything of it. So since then, I've seen him 2 to 3 times a week. I have small children, so sometimes he has to come over in the evening once I put them to bed. So he was always coming to my place, but I just thought he was being accommodating to me and my schedule. Never had to think twice about it until I realized that he was going to have a birthday this past weekend, and I just thought he was in his early 30s, and I thought to myself, I think it's very odd that he doesn't have social media, because people in their 30s, they live and thrive off of social media.
Isn't that funny that that's the first red flag now, that if you're not online anywhere, something's up. What's wrong with you, freak?
Exactly. Like, if you can't find him on Google, then there's a red flag.
Right.
So I was at work one evening, and I told my girlfriend at work, I was like, I just think it's really odd. And she's like, okay, cool, give me his name. We'll do some researching. And I was like, girl, I've already looked him up. I couldn't find anything. It's no big deal. I just think it's weird. And she found him. Well, I'm going to take that back. She found his wife's page and found the pictures of them posted on her page, where they had just bought a new house in July and gotten married a year ago, and it was heartbreaking.
So you're watching this, and he's portraying, or they're portraying, and she of course has no idea. They're having this happy life together, and he has literally been seeing you now. When you see these pictures, for how long?
3 months.
3 months. Oh, that's crushing.
I'm sorry.
That is crushing. Okay, so take it from there.
Like I said, I've known him for a year. So when we finally met, it was like we'd known each other for a long time, because we've had conversations for at least a year. It wasn't steady conversation, but we already knew about one another. And he gave me this huge thing about, I just got divorced 2 years ago. And I was like, well, I got divorced 3 years ago. And, I guess I fed him a story, because I would say that some of the things that happened in my marriage, he was like, oh my gosh, that happened to me too. And I just thought he was the one. We clicked. We felt each other's pain, and it was great. I felt like I could finally open up to someone. And when I found out last Friday via Facebook, I was crushed.
So,
absolutely crushed.
And we sure this is him? He doesn't have a twin brother somewhere. Yeah.
Girl, I wish. That's what my friend said.
Right. So have you approached him about this yet?
Not at all. So this past weekend, he was, quote unquote, in Vegas with his boys for his birthday. Didn't think anything of that. I said, have fun. I'm going to give you a little bit of space while you're out there. I mean, it's Vegas. I wouldn't want anybody blowing up my phone, so go out, have fun. Well, he left on Friday, and Friday is when I found out. So I'd just been keeping it to myself, letting it literally eat me alive for days. And I don't know what to do. Like, do I send her a message on Facebook and just ruin her world? Or do I, run up on their house? Like, I don't know what to do.
I don't know. I've got so many thoughts on this. And you said that, did you see that they have kids also, or it's just the two of them?
It's just the two of them. But my assumption was they're young. They got married a year ago. They're probably trying to have a kid. That's typically what you do at first year of marriage.
1-855-BERT show.
So if they got married a year ago and you've been communicating with him for a year, that means he's
newlywed. Exactly.
He's a newlywed.
Exactly.
Oof.
So I am a huge fan of Mind Your Business, but the problem here is he made you like it is now your business, and he did that. So, and it's so odd in the timing of this because I have a friend who this just happened to. So if I were you, I would say something to her.
Mo, you got something?
Well, this is just hitting home for me because I was in this situation. I dated a girl once for about 6 months, and it was like really serious. And then I found out she was engaged to be married, and I didn't say anything. And now, fast forward a couple years later, she's married with kids, and they seem to have like the greatest relationship ever. And it always kind of pained me, like, should I have said something? I chose not to. I don't know that I personally would, but I definitely wouldn't be mad at you saying something, especially with the way he's going about it. Like, she deserves to know.
So I found myself in a couple of awkward situations the last couple of months, and my therapist gave me great advice at the time that might help you also, and it's this. You are not responsible for the decisions that other adults have made. This guy, for the last year now, has been screwing around on his wife. You are not responsible for that decision. You had no idea. So if you do approach the wife and you are doing this out of the goodness of your heart to protect her, the fallout is not on you. That's on him. Mm-hmm. He made a series of decisions.
But should she even entangle herself in this further or just ghost and leave them alone?
Let's find out. Here's Joseph. Good morning. You were on the Bert Show.
I was on the opposite end of this. I was in her position, already married and everything, and then my wife was the one doing this. So luckily I found out through some mutual friends, but it was a shocker. I was actually in the military, deployed when I found out.
I can't think of anything worse. So you're fighting for the country, and there she is, and she's having an affair while you're overseas. So you're
yeah.
So it wasn't the other man that told you. You found out through friends.
So I mean, I'm limited to what I can do because I'm not even in the country.
Yeah.
So at this point, I mean, they pretty much she moved him in, and they were living on our buck for about 6 months until I got back, and. As soon as I got back, the day I got back, I talked to a lawyer, and luckily, you know, she had her kids, I had my kids. It was like $234, and see you later.
Well, A, I don't like your ex-wife, and B, your advice would be then go ahead and rat the guy out.
Needs to. I mean, because she needs to understand what's going on. Right now, she's in the dark, so she thinks everything is, you know, everything's cool, you know, and it's not.
Thank you. Good morning, Bert Show. Who is this?
This is Luann.
All right, Luann. Do you leave it alone or do you go in?
So there's absolutely no telling what kind of agreement the husband and wife have between each other. Maybe something happened recently and they're branching out. I know it's been a year, so it's kind of like weird saying something like that. But definitely blow up in the dude's face. That's for sure. You don't need to be messing with my heart, but it's kind of a touchy situation, kind of involving yourself in a marriage that we don't have all the details to.
So you're saying don't say anything about it yet?
Don't say anything to the wife. In my personal opinion, I've never been married, so this is just coming from the opinion of somebody who's perpetually single. But it's just because it's going to, it's going to upturn her world. Yeah, she should know what's going on, but should it be her that says something? No, I think it should be the husband, but I doubt he's ever going to say anything.
Why are we putting the responsibility on their relationship breaking up on our listener? She didn't do anything. She's innocent in this whole thing. He's the one that didn't make a mistake. This is a year of a relationship. Those are hundreds of decisions that he made. So why should she feel awkward about that?
She shouldn't.
I think, well, she has the information. He's not going to say nothing. And I think as a woman, you got to ask yourself, if I were the wife, what I want to know. And if you think you would want to know, then you probably feel the responsibility to say something to her.
Bobby?
I would want to know, but I don't want her to say anything. I just want her to ghost. It's
You
like
say
do
don't
as
say
I
anything?
say, not as I do kind of thing. Yeah.
You say don't say anything.
I think ghost, just get out while you can. Go find someone that appreciates you for who you are. Like, just, I would not want to entangle myself in this web any further.
Kristen?
It's so crazy because had what recently happened not happened, I probably would have a completely different take. But she's glad she knows, and she's glad the person came out and told her what her husband was doing.
Mo?
Like I said, I think you got to ask yourself if you would want to know. And if you in your heart would want to know as a woman, then I think you should tell.
With that, Stephanie, would you want to know?
I definitely would want to know, but I'm kind of like on the same with Davi. Like, I guess it's don't kill the shooter, or don't shoot
the messenger.
person who's the messenger. Like, don't. But here's the other thing. I knew his birthday was on Sunday, so I kind of waited and just kind of Facebook stalked his wife's page. And because I thought that too, I said, well, maybe they're in an open relationship. Maybe they're going through it right now. Maybe they're separated. And I waited until Sunday, and lo and behold, she posted all this stuff about how wonderful her husband was, and the next year of their life is going to be the best because they just bought a house together. And I was like, that's the confirmation I needed. They are in a healthy, thriving relationship.
Man. Just for the record, you should kill the shooter whenever there's a shooter. Kill shooters.
Kill the shooter.
Yeah.
For sure. Don't shoot the messenger.
But definitely kill
But
shooters.
shooters, take them out.
All right, Stephanie, please keep us posted on exactly how you felt about it and what you did about it, okay?
Definitely will. Thanks, guys.
All right, good luck.
Thanks.
The Bert Show.